quote-unquote old characters get underestimated if you don't have experience watching anime. Their wisdom and their battle experience usually gives them the edge on combat in shows, and they're actually unusually stronger than what you would expect. And he's also kind of a perv. Like, I know Goku's the main character and everything of Dragon Ball and has gotten a lot of new forms and has surpassed Master Roshi by a wide margin at this point. The fact still remains, despite Goku being this strong currently, that was at one point he was on the level of Master Roshi back in the day. Matter of fact, Master Roshi trained Goku, and is a big reason on how Goku developed as a fighter back in his earlier days when it comes to developing strength because of his unique way of training and all that good stuff. Matter of fact, just to show that he's a beast, he actually went through the same training Goku and them did just to show that he could do it basically. And he made that type of stuff seem easy to him, so it lets you know how strong he is off gate. We know he's been alive for over 300 years. On occasions like this, that pretty much confirmed it. He climbed the entirety of Korin's tower, trained with him. That's part of the reason why he's so strong, because first of all, he's old as heck, has plenty of fighting experience, and he doesn't seem to be like a crippled old man despite all these years going by. And he trained with Korin for 3 years on top of all this experience. I mean, Dragon Ball is a fighting anime, so it's pretty straightforward when it comes to fighting. Characters in the show can enhance their strength, speed, everything with key manipulation or their physicals or vice versa, blah, blah, blah. Harnessing this inner chi or ki, it can help them increase their attack strength, blast power, punching power, kicks. Master Roshi may not be a Super Saiyan God level being or nothing, but he can do such things as well, like techniques, like in the manga here, when he was pretending to be somebody else, when he was pretending to be Jackie Chun, was legit able to read a being's mind with his ability. One could say he's Hexy because some of these techniques, I don't even know if they involve ki. Like legit being able to straight up hypnotize beings to make them legit go to sleep. This dude legit made a Wolfman think that Krillin's head was a moon because of hypnotism. Okay, you know what? This is funny. So it made him be normal again. Let me stop. Looks like he can shock beings with electric type or shock type of ki blast. I mean, look how it does his hair, kind of how electricity acts when it hits hair. You know what I mean? He knows other Hexy techniques to where even if you're stronger than him, he might still be able to win against you because he knows sealing type of techniques like the evil containment wave, for example. It's a very hard move to learn. He's one of the rare beings that actually know it, to seal beings up into a container of some sort, taught by his late master. Most of the time, Dragon Ball is about you being stronger than your opponent, but there's occasions like this where his opponent was actually stronger than himself. But look how worried he is about this technique despite him not having the strength advantage over this same being, Demon King Piccolo, and it's still able to affect him. So one could say this is very Hexy. But in this particular occasion, he failed because it's hard to control, you know what I mean? And despite it being an old technique, even in newer arcs, Goku still had use for some of Master Roshi's old techniques. So it shows that Master Roshi still isn't useless in current times. If Goku that has Super Saiyan God form still wants to learn stuff from Master Roshi, still accepts his teachings, I think that makes Master Roshi still relevant. Even though he's super strong, which I haven't really got to yet in this video, he still knows fighting skill type stuff like pressure point, one could say nerve strike type stuff. Like simple taps like this paralyze this being. A paralysis art. One can say he knows drunken type fighting, fights that's kind of hard to parry because you don't really know what they're going to do next. One can say it's an unpredictable type fighting style, showing his martial arts ability, not just heavily relying on strength. You know the famous attack you always see Goku use, the energy-focused ki blast concentrated beam known as the Kamehameha? Master Roshi has this kind of attack too, blast power. Definitely getting back to this in the same video as well. It's rare when you see an actual human in Dragon Ball have a full-blown transformation because of them powering up. Master Roshi has a base form, but if he wants to get serious, he will pull out his version, one could say his own Super Saiyan transformations. I'm still confused on how he's able to do this. Maybe he can extremely focus his ki into his muscles to greatly enhance his physical power or something. But let's get it. How strong is Master Roshi? You know he's super strong because when he was pretty much teaching Krillin and Goku young a thing or two, he showed off his strength to be able to push this big boulder. He can swing his arms so fast and with so much force, he can blow beings with the wind of his swing like how he blew back the Yamcha out of the ring on this particular occasion, basically hits Goku in this particular occasion so hard he shatters stone, one could say, with his striking power. Oh, did I mention that's one of his techniques after image when it comes to look like you're in one place but you're not? One could say this is a form of speed, like one could say blitzing Goku here. In this tournament, when you hit the outside, you lose. So in this occasion, it looked like he was about to lose. It looked like he landed on the outside, but he didn't, and his foot got engraved in the wall, so his feet didn't hit the ground. Red Ribbon Army soldiers, he can curb stomp pretty casually even though they got weapons. They're literally shooting at him. His strength and speed blitzes them so bad to where they can't even get a shot off before they get kicked. This is also an occasion showing off his fighting speed, catching the bullets mid-flight. then dropped some showing that the bullets didn't do nothing. Even in the early days of Dragon Ball stuff, Master Roshi, and along with other fighters, can fight so fast to where the audience can't even see what happened. It happened so fast, they literally had to do a play-by-play. And they talk about how many blows they traded in such a short amount of time. The crowd didn't see none of that. That just shows that they're massively faster than the eye can see, even in these early days. Way faster than supersonic speeds, I would say, at least. Way above that. There was even parts of the career where Master Roshi's hits were even too fast for super fast or trained fighters like Krillin, who's also superhuman. You know he's fast because look at this after image technique. It looks like there's multiple of him, but he's really just moving fast. But skilled and fast fighters like Tien can see through it, though, of course. It's not like bullets are an actual threat to Master Roshi and the fighters anyway, because they've been legit showered by bullets in a form of comedy, and it didn't really threaten their lives or nothing. So just because you have the weapon, that doesn't mean nothing. Master Roshi is the weapon. He's one of those characters that doesn't mind using melee combat at will, like him using this, then puts it down, then blitzes without the weapon. You know, he can mix it up. These beings are forever hitting beings hard enough to where they're flying to the point where they hit bricks and crack the bricks. Yeah, Master Roshi was dressed up as somebody else here. He's strong enough and fast enough to where literal wolfmen are a joke to him. Hey, his head is turned the other way, and he's still able to catch these attacks with his hands. Get the heck out of his way. There's been times when you actually see their physicals go against blasts, like Tien Shinhan, for example, doing a Kamehameha on him, literally deflects it and sends it somewhere else with physical attacks. Without being in his full power, by the way, because he's not in his buffed up muscle form. If we're talking about his blast power, he can blow away entire castles, and one could say the mountain itself it's on with his blast power. It's that simple. The mountain and the castle, he blasted away. He's used this Kamehameha to take out a whole bunch of Frieza soldiers. Don't sleep on him. So it's pretty obvious that his blast can delete mountains. When he wants to get serious, he can actually blast away the entirety of the moon when he goes to his buffed up muscle state. Like, it's legit really gone. So when we're talking about his blast power, he can definitely blast apart huge planetoid structures like the moon itself. The crazy part is one can say that this moon busting feat is actually more impressive than just simply moon busting, because there's one thing to destroy something into large pieces, but there's another thing to vaporize it completely. So he has a bare minimum of moon-shattering power at least, though. It really makes you think about how he was taking it easy on his pupils in these tournaments when he was pretending to be somebody else. He never used his buffed up form in an actual fist fight. So one can say he was always holding back during these tournaments with Goku. Yeah, I know it's hard to imagine him holding back against Goku, the main character. I mean, I guess that's how it was back in these early days. Even in this occasion with Tien, you never see him go in his buffed up state, even though he can still block his attacks. One can say he was still holding back in these occasions. This isn't really a theory, considering Tien even said it himself, because Master Roshi pretty much lost on purpose. Notice how it even frustrated Tien on why he lost on purpose. He even says he didn't even release his full power yet. It's occasions like this that make me think he's way past moon busting level currently. Notice he wasn't in his buffed up muscle form here and was able to dodge multiple attacks from a being that's way past Super Saiyan Blue level, is being known as Jiren. Even though he was holding back and still got overpowered, he showed some impressive showcasing here, still got overpowered. Even though this is mostly a speed showing, I definitely think occasions like this pretty much confirmed, even without his buffed up muscle state, he could blast planets apart with his blast power, not just moon-sized structures. I would even go as far as saying his blast power is much greater than that. One can say he could blast with the force of a small star, maybe. What do you think? Do you think he can blast away stars? There's certain characters like Frieza that Master Roshi isn't on the level with, but one can say Frieza's henchman is another matter entirely. There's heavy implications that even though we don't really see much screen time for him, there's kind of implications that he's improving off screen or training off screen even when we don't see it. I'm not trying to say he's on par with Goku. Goku has different forms, right? Even though he has different forms, he still trains his base form. So over the years, his base form, without counting transformations, is still getting stronger, right? You're probably wondering why am I bringing this up? There was this big tournament that was coming up, and one of the filler content, I know it's filler, but work with me here, they kind of imply that he's sneaking in training behind the scenes. Because in the incredible Tournament of Power arc, you get to see Master Roshi fight some of the newer fighters in this universe and some of the strongest fighters in the multiverse, really. One can say in this particular occasion, Master Roshi was mind controlled. This is filler, so take this as you will, but there's also more evidence I'm going to show you in a bit about him being up there with the current fighters. Maybe not like the God tier fighters, but some of the lower echelon of the top tier fighters in the current sagas. Goku in his base form during this time period even stated, "You've been keeping all that power hidden away from us this whole time." Goku currently is even impressed and said, this is what he can do when he's not holding back. He must be sneaking in intense training when everybody's not around. That's wild. If you think that filler content was BS, then tell me how is he able to do this in his base form, a being that's similar to the Frieza race known as Frost from another universe. Frieza's race, guys. Are you serious? Fighting speed and combat speed is able to block attacks from these beings without being treated like fodder. Even though I will admit Frost isn't like going 100% at this particular second either though. Stuff like this is incredibly impressive considering most people think he's fodder, because everybody assumed he wasn't doing nothing off screen and he was just staying at the same power level while everybody was getting stronger from arc to arc. And for a split second here, you see him blocking Frost, looking away, of course, because Tien and him are working together against Frost. But there's still heavy implications that this being is above them when it comes to Tien and Master Roshi. When I say this being Frost is similar to Frieza, we mean he legitly is similar to Frieza with the same transformations and everything. You got to remember that beings that are in the Frieza race, Frieza, for example, just for pure example purposes, had a power level of 500,000 and can destroy planets with ease, low difficulty. Then he can increase his power by over 200 times because you see the difference between the power levels. And Frieza had the power at that time period to be able to compete with Super Saiyan Goku. You got to remember that Frost, there was actually a Goku that had a stronger form of a Super Saiyan from the past because Goku's always training. So Frost battled a Super Saiyan Goku that's far beyond the one that Frieza fought. Both these beings should be over hundreds or 200 times planet busting level. So even though Frost is kind of chilling here, these should not be taken lightly when it comes to at least be able to block attacks from beings that can kind of compete with Super Saiyan Goku from later arcs. So respect Roshi. These kind of implications could imply he's way above earth busting and stuff like this that makes me think he could blast away or punch away stuff or planets that are much larger than the normal sized Earth. It's easy to overlook somebody like him, and a lot of folks call BS on how he's able to keep up with the current fighters despite us not getting any screen time or on-screen showings of his training or whatever, or if he did any training at all. We've seen this extremely overpowered being known as Jiren, right, during the Tournament of Power arc, block attacks from a Super Saiyan God with a freaking finger, the same god form that can shake the entire universe or macrocosm with punches and stuff and even put the universe itself in jeopardy. Got his punches blocked by Jiren with a finger, multiple punches at that. Master Roshi has to have been getting stronger off screen. I mean, he's competing in the Tournament of Power with Pride Troopers. Even if they are fodder, that's still impressive, considering we thought he was doing nothing off screen. There's like a common theme in Dragon Ball: when you get stronger, characters usually get faster and stuff of that such. It's cases like this where it kind of proves Roshi has to be way stronger than the past, because he literally dodged an attack from Jiren, even though Jiren in this particular occasion probably was heavily suppressed and didn't expect him to be this fast and stuff. That's still ridiculously impressive considering the sheer power gap. Dodges multiple attacks from Jiren. Even Beerus was shocked, saying they was implying Ultra Instinct, but yeah, they resemble, but they're not quite there yet though. But that's still impressive that a mortal can do something like this. But of course, when Jiren stopped playing around, of course he does overpower Master Roshi, of course though. He's a force to be reckoned with. But you remember earlier how I talked about how he's kind of a perv? So they actually were smart to kind of try to put women against him. In this fight, they even bring up the battle he had with Jiren to let you know that they really considered that serious. Like, they brought it back up. Yeah, he just got to clear his mind. In order to get over his weakness of fighting women and stuff and stop staying focused, he put blindfolds on and can move and can sense their movements, parry them without even looking at them, getting the advantage, showing his skills and strength. They even go as far as saying he's stronger with his eyes closed. Of course, they will pull out a fusion type of technique. Yeah, but Goku arrives and saves the day. But yeah, he's one of those characters that don't have the most showings because he's kind of like a side character at this point, but he's still respectable in this universe. And he can definitely destroy planets. I'm interested to hear your thoughts. Do you respect Master Roshi? His wisdom and power should be respected. Despite him not having much screen time, he's still training off screen. Who knows what the future will hold for him? What if he ends up being the first human being to learn Ultra Instinct completely? Who knows? Or do you think the writers are going to forget about him? Probably will forget about him. Currently, in current arcs, off-screen training over the years, even though we didn't see it or nothing, I think a good speculation would be that he's definitely way past earth-shattering level. With those occasions with Frost, I would definitely say he could blast away the Earth with his base state. I would even go as far as saying he can blast apart planets that are way bigger than Earth by a large margin. Like maybe a planet like Jupiter he could delete or something, or tremble with his blast power. But what do you guys think? Before I get going though, I gotta say quick thanks to everybody that has donated to the channel. Helps out a lot. Respect Roshi. I hope you guys are enjoying the anime run. I'm glad you are enjoying your time on the channel. Make sure you check out the playlist on the channel to see other How Strong videos. If you like what this channel is offering, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys later.